There are so many ways to make tomato sauce, but if you want the best and easiest way from scratch using fresh tomatoes, this roasted tomato sauce recipe is for you. Not only is roasted tomato sauce extra delicious, but it's also pretty hands-off. You throw everything in the oven and it comes out perfect. Plus, it freezes well, so you can actually double this batch and have tomato sauce in your freezer for a long time. So I'm using Roma tomatoes, and this is a small batch. So I'm using about 3 pounds of Roma tomatoes. I feel like any tomato will work in this recipe. When you roast your tomatoes, even when they're not fully in season, you coax the goodness and the sweetness out of them. The oven does all the work for you. And sometimes I'll mix it up, like I'll use whatever tomatoes I have on hand. So some of these may not be Romas, and it's absolutely okay. We're just gonna cut them in half. Throw them on this big sheet pan. Now, if you were an Italian nonna, you'd be making a big pot for the entire village, but we're making a small, very easy hands-off sauce here. Gorgeous tomatoes happening. We're adding some onions, just kind of sliced up, okay? And we have about 6 garlic cloves. We're just gonna leave the cloves as is in here because everything is gonna go together in my food processor later once they're all nice and have collapsed and let their juices out. So, and I'm using a couple of carrots here, just chopped up real big. And I'm using carrots in place of sugar. A lot of the recipes I've seen add sugar to kind of cut the acidity of the tomatoes, but you don't need that. You can just add carrots and they will really help sweeten the deal. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and kind of give it maybe 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning all over, couple pinches of red pepper flakes, big pinch of kosher salt, big pinch of black pepper, seasoned very well because you're seasoning the whole sauce. Hello, I am pepper. And a nice drizzle of some good extra virgin olive oil. I'm using our Nocellara Italian extra virgin olive oil from the MediterraneanDish.com. Hit the shop tab when you get there. Shameless plug. Our olive oils are exquisite. And if we're ever out of one, just use the others. They are so good. They're all good. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and make sure we toss this party together so that we coat our veggies with the delicious seasonings and olive oil. Oh, yes. We're gonna make sure we spread our veggies because you want to allow the veggies enough room. And I like to turn the tomatoes to, we talked about this before. Is this the belly? No, this is the belly. Okay, the flesh side down. Okay. We're gonna stick this baby in the oven. I think about 30 minutes should do, but watch for the tomatoes to release their juices, for the veggies to char just a bit, because that gives it so much flavor. Oh yeah, I love the color. And see, at this point, since the tomatoes really collapsed, they begin to peel on their own. So if you want to peel the tomatoes once they've cooled a little bit, you can. I don't always peel them because I don't mind my sauce chunky. But anyway, see, they peel right off. Let's drop our pasta. I'm just using penne from the store. Not making our own pasta today because it's about the sauce really. Prepare your food processor. Mine is just fitted with an S blade, no big deal. Goes right in here. And if you've peeled your tomatoes, great. If you didn't peel them, great. It'll work perfectly. I'll get my sauce in here. Some of my onions kind of got overdone, so I'm not gonna include them. But I love the onions being a little bit more caramelized. So we're gonna go in here. At this point, they've all cooled off just enough so it's fine to go into your food processor. The tomatoes and their juices, the bit of olive oil, the garlic, the onion, the carrots for sweetness, all of it is going in here. I don't wanna lose any of my pan juices. Yeah, baby. All right, so close this. I like mine just a tad chunky. I'm gonna go for low. Take a look. Oh yeah. If you're planning to store this, it'll be great in the fridge in a mason jar for about like 4 days or so. Or you can freeze it for later, but make sure that you've cooled it fully first. But we're gonna use it right now with our pasta, so we're gonna keep some of that pasta water, and that will make this situation nice and delicious. So I'm gonna add some of this pasta cooking water since I'm using my sauce right away. If I'm not using it, I wouldn't add any water to it. I just store it the way it is. So. Pasta's ready. We're gonna wanna warm up our sauce because, you know, it has cooled a little bit. I'm gonna go directly in this pan with my chunky roasted tomato sauce, and I wanna taste it to see if I need to add any more seasoning. It's perfect. Like I said, you can make your sauce less chunky. Just run it in the food processor longer until you arrive at the desired consistency, but the taste is gorgeous. We've drained the pasta, the sauce is ready. A lot of people are going to dish their pasta in a plate and then add a sauce on top. That's not the way, right? But if you know anything about good pasta, what you will do as soon as the pasta is done, you dump the whole thing in there, and you get it all covered in the sauce. I think we miss out on flavor when we don't allow our pasta to kind of swim in the sauce. When you drain the pasta, the sauce should be already available to you. That's something I've learned. Pasta doesn't wait for the sauce. Sauce waits for the pasta. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. When your pasta is well coated in your sauce, you have done at least one thing right. See, and I feel like a chunkier sauce. I don't know. I like chunky sauce. Even if it doesn't have meat, it still feels a little bit more hearty, like a vegan ragu, you know? I don't know if there's, anyway. We're not gonna make it vegan, of course, because we're gonna add some cheese here. And then we're gonna do a little basil. Let's give it a try. I need one more bite, I'll tell you. My gosh, it's so good. Okay. Thank you for the gift of pasta. This is a must try. I'm telling you, this is really one of the best sauces I've ever tried. It'll keep in the fridge 4 days, or you can make a big batch and freeze it. When tomatoes are in season, guess what? I'm making roasted tomato sauce and saving it in the freezer. If you love Italian food and if you love pasta, check out the next video. Grab the recipe for roasted tomato sauce over on themediterraneandish.com. I will see you later. Ciao. Ciao, baby.